All right. So as Yash was doing what he was doing, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back, guys.
So we now have the Volkswagen Beetle, right?
1968, Summer of Love.
Summer of love, right? This car never gets old, yeah.
It just grows on you every day.
What was it that we were talking about off the camera? We were speaking about happiness.
We're talking, about how it doesn't have to be the biggest, meanest thing in the shop.
And it still gives you happiness.
Yeah.
Even to this day, right? You sit down and you were telling me that, I still go for rides and puts a smile on my face.
It doesn't matter what mood I'm in. Doesn't matter what the day has been like.
Right, right.
But once you're behind the wheel, you feel the steering, it's light, it's easy. The car is easy to get into traffic. You don't have to worry about potholes. It's pretty high. It's just a nice ride.
You have named it, right?
It's Ratchet, this baby out here.
Ratchet. App name. So originally, what color was this?
This was red.
It was red.
The candy red that the Beetles came in.
Right. And you guys will get to see a video that he has made. And sorry, this video is not shot by us. It's shot by Yash and his team when you guys have repainted it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, tell me, why did you change the...
I have a thing with keeping the car original but giving it a touch of myself.
Freshening it up
Yeah.
every now and then?
Like, it needs to represent my personality somewhere, right? The
Right.
car is an extension of your personality
Yep.
somewhere.
All vehicles are.
And the orange color, I used to love it as a kid. The Dutch national team. With
Right.
colors.
Right.
And then slowly it changed into something else. It became the color for a movement, something that became political, something that became what it was not supposed to be. Now, in this country, anywhere you mention orange and it reminds you of only one thing.
Got it.
And I wanted to reclaim that. I had started hating orange and I was like, that's not right. Why is somebody else telling me what
color should I like?
means to me?
Yep, I get it.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's
Alright.
make it pop. Let's make it, in your face. But also let people be surprised that not everything associated to a color is just that.
It's just that, right? So you just... And it spells about you. It's who you are.
True.
And you own it now. It's back to you, right? I think, Yash, let's talk about the history about this car, right? So it's a 1968 model, right? So how did you get... How are we here with the 1968 Beetle?
So this car was actually pretty famous in the city,
Yep.
People knew that it's there. It had just been parked for a very long time. And when we got it, we actually drove it home.
Okay.
So it was pretty well looked after.
So it's been in the family.
It's been in the family. for a
Okay.
bit.
And it has been in the family for quite some time. Now I know you've done some modifications to it, and I know I'm itching away to get the first thing out of the way, the lights.
It's the headlights. Yeah.
Right? Turn them on, yeah.
Go for it. ठीक है
नहीं, अभी नहीं.
ये स्विच बंद है रुकिए
अच्छा हाँ वो सूद बंदे देखिए
आप करें
Yeah. So we were speaking about the lights, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, we needed some help. Now, the gentleman that you see in the frame is like your dedicated mechanic, right?
My dad calls him the dream builder.
The dream builder, right?
Yeah.
He's the person who has restored most of your cars,
He spares. We have like a bunch of.
I'm sure. And I want to cover the workshop next time around, yeah, because I'm dying to. I know you're packed for time. By the way, Yash is currently also having a lit fest. So अगर इरफान कैमरा घुमाएगा, पीछे इधर एक फंक्शन चल रहा है that Yash, right? And this car is so cute that everyone wants to click a photo with it. So it's all right. It's okay. I'm all right. Now let's look at the engine. So Irfan, engine देखेंगे.
Now this is a 1300cc.
Right.
Rear engine, air cooled.
Right.
So this is what inspired every modern Porsche.
Yes. And that not many people know this as a fact, right?
Yeah, they're always surprised to hear that.
You know?
They're like, oh, this is like a Porsche. I'm
But
like,
this is
Porsche is like this.
this exactly. And yes, you need to get the fact right. This is what inspired the Porsche to go the way they did, right?
Ferdinand Porsche himself made this for Hitler.
Correct.
And they never got the cars into production. They were like some models made for marketing.
Right, and that's good history, man. Right there,
I'm a
right?
history person through and through.
Lovely. All right. So, if Irfan यहाँ आएगा और दिखाएगा, So I know it's a little bit dark, but yeah, we can still see it. It's in the frame. So that's what it looks like, yeah. So you've done a lot of, I guess, maintenance on it, made it a little bit yours,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Compared to where you actually got it from, right?
Sure.
I know he's still working on it and you continually work on it because you were saying that there's a part that you want to change. It's still,
Oh, there's so much. So it's a 10-year plan.
this is not going to end because I'm going to bump into him in Mumbai as well. There's something in my head, like you guys know, I keep dropping these hints. Something big is coming, and it's coming. And this all madness is going to make a lot of sense very soon, right?
Indeed, it will.
Now, Yash, internals let's talk about interiors in this car. I know there's a lot of work that you've done. So what else have you changed in the interior form of this car?
So right now we haven't gone ahead and changed anything. We kept it stock on the inside.
Right.
But I'm getting a new speaker system, some
Right.
coaxials,
Right.
something
Right.
with a nice bass
Right.
to it.
Right.
And along with that, we're trying to figure out how to add an air conditioner.
Right.
Because in the summers, otherwise it gets very difficult to take it out.
Right. Just brings me to my head. I would love to have this car in BIC.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
I would love to have this car, and you know what? Let's make that happen, guys. I want to get this car to the BIC. Yeah, I really do, because it's just, I know Richard Hammond loves his Beetle. So Richo, I'm calling you out here. It'll make sense, guys. I know it'll make sense, but Richo, I'm calling you out.
Foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing. But this car, we need to give it a little bit more. We need to get it out on a track.
Lovely. That is so kind of you to say. That's very kind coming from you of all the people.
We need to get this out on a track, and I'm dying right now. I'm really, I'm flustered. Let's talk about the transmission. So over the years, with managing this car and keeping it at the nick as you are, right? It's in mint condition right now. Talk to me about the mechanics and the internals and how do you manage all of that? Because the parts will be scarce to get, right?
Beetle parts are still relatively available. You need to know importers who are pushing this stuff into the country.
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, right?
A lot of waiting.
And a lot of waiting.
Need patience to be able to.
Yeah, you're telling me this the parts from Germany directly, right? And I know off camera also you did mention that there's a lot of waiting, right? Does that really there must have been a struggle at certain point in time getting parts?
It isn't for us because there's a whole network of automotive dealers and importers and collectors.
Right.
The community really comes together,
Okay, so they support you.
So half the time we don't even have to buy stuff because we have given them something that they needed.
So it's like a barter system.
It's a barter system.
And this, why I wanted to point this out is because, yes, look, by all means, me growing up abroad, and it was as shocking as to me because I went into Sandeep Uncle's garage and I saw his 3 cars. The first thing came into my mind was, wow, this person must be alone. He has got. But on the contrary, I want to get this message out as well that there's a huge scene of vintage cars in India, which most people don't know about, right? It's like when we look at India, and that's a myth I really want to bust, is when people look at India and say, oh yeah, it's an influx of new cars, but are they related to vintage? I mean, you'll be shocked to know, and I was shocked to know that even the Royals, still the existing Royals or some part of the Royals in the Rajasthan region still have some of the original cars.
Yeah, the Delahais over there are just like 1 in the world, 2 in the world.
Correct. So that's one of the reasons why I want to emphasize on that point is like, how do you, so you have a community that supports. And
that's community. We have our mechanics have been with us for the past 25, 30 years.
Right.
So by now, they have also been trained by my father and his friends.
Right.
Because they come from a place where they have learnt it by hand.
Right.
And my dad and his friend, who is an IT Kanpur pass out.
Right.
And they actually restored India's oldest clock by themselves, which is in India.
Right.
Which is in Lucknows.
Yep.
So he has that mechanical backing to it. So we have also given them that training over the years.
So that experience comes
them how to use caliper.
Yep.
Got them more scientific down the line.
Right. More technical. More technically sound and informative and ready to deal with any kind of situation they get themselves into. Right. And that's wonderful because I know that these cars, especially overseas, has a huge vintage heritage to them, and they have
Of course, the elegance.
yeah. And it's very surprising, you know, and it's shocking for a person like me to see, you know, like जैसे Qasim जो आपके हैं, and him knowing what to do and how to get out of the situations. That's a huge. And I'm sure you guys have, and I'm happy to know that you guys have a community that's dedicated to just this, you know. And we will cover more of those community members as well because you're going to be a part of it. So it's going to be in and around you. And I know I've got something planned for Sandeep Uncle and yourself now for the next very year in a massive way.
Come on,
So-
let's reveal it already. Man.
Not yet. I have got some parts of it I can't because not until certain things happen
So
first.
chill.
Yeah. And something that really happens because we all sign some form of confidentiality
Oh.
before we get into any kind of, you know. But it's exciting times ahead, you know, and I'm glad that I was lucky to find you guys in and around just the area around the bend from me, you know. But thank you very much, Yash.
Thank
You know, giving that much of time. I know you've got something going on. You have a festival of lit going on, lit fest.
Fest, yeah.
Lit fest. So can you touch on a little bit about the lit fest?
So, the Metaphor Lit Fest, it was started 10 years ago by
Okay.
my mother.
Okay.
And we have hosted all the biggest names in literature
Okay.
in the country.
Okay. All right.
Whether it is Amish Tripathi, who's written about Indian mythology,
Right.
or is it someone like Javed Akhtar Saab,
Right.
coming this time also.
Right.
Vishal Bhardwaj came in 2019.
Right.
Person who has adapted Shakespeare's plays,
Right.
Macbeth, Othello.
Right.
And our aim is to reconnect Lucknow with its heritage and its culture.
And its roots, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it relevant again for the younger generation, how we get them involved in the discussion. Because Lucknow as a city has a very rich literary past.
It does because I covered the Nawab Mir Jafar Abdullah. Yeah. So I covered him the last time around, sat down with him, and I know that for a fact that Lucknow has a very, very deep-rooted heritage that somehow is beginning to fade away. But I'm happy to know that there are younger generation folks just like you are still trying to keep those roots alive. And you know, I will cover Yash in a very next segment, you know, and we will talk about a little bit more, and we'll call it Yashwant's story.
Oh,
Right.
now you're just flattering me.
I do that covers sometime. It's very nice to meet a person like you, right?
Same.
And through you, I got to network with other folks just like-minded, right? And I really appreciate your time, right?
Looking forward to seeing you back.
I am
Very
looking
much fun.
forward to come back very soon. And thank you guys. Before we leave, please subscribe, like, share, comment, ghanta daba dijiyega, and we'll see you in the next video now. Be safe. And there's a beautiful music going on in the background. No copyright strikes. It'll go on. Bye.
Good night. See you soon.